Hey, my name's Tippy and I'm Aro Ace.
In case you did not know, aro or aromantic is experiencing little or no romantic attraction to other people, and ace or asexual is experiencing little to no sexual attraction to other people. Hence, aro ace, which means that I am both aromantic and asexual. Moving on.
If you look back at all the videos, you're probably going to see that this channel is a bit all over the place. I was doing studio vlogs and then like other stuff and like kind of tutorials, but then I closed down those businesses. But now I'm thinking about opening up one back again, but I'm not going to do the studio vlogs because it's all going to be print on demand. But that's all besides the point. I have realized that there is a deficit, shall we say, in Aro Ace creators on here, or at least ones that talk about Aro Ace things, you know? So I'm going to try to fill that gap a little bit. That doesn't mean that all of my videos are going to be about this, but you know, why not sprinkle a little bit in there? So as the title says, we're going to be talking about the 4 best and worst responses to people finding out that I'm ace. These aren't going to be in any sort of order. I'm just going to, you know, list them off. So I figured we'd start with the worst because, you know, we want to end on a high note. So let's start with the worst. Okay, so one of the worst responses was, I don't remember exactly how we led up to the conversation. I think he was asking me about my ring, and then it got into the whole, you know, spiel. And his response was, "That's unnatural." And then he proceeded to quote Bible verses at me. Meanwhile, this is all happening while I am helping him with a order while I am at work. So yeah, I'm helping him with an order. He's on this side of the counter. I'm on this side of the counter, typing along on my little clack, clack, clack on my computer. And he is spewing Bible verses at me about how unnatural this is. So yeah, that was a time. You can guarantee that we were going back and forth for a while there. But yeah, eventually he left the store and I was like, bye. The next one was interesting. So a lot of these happen while I'm at work. Actually, I think all of them, majority of them happened at work because people are nosy, but majority of these happened while I'm at work. So this is another customer story. So I'm helping a customer. We somehow get on the topic. I can't remember what prompted it this time. This was a couple of years ago. I don't exactly remember what led up to it, but I certainly remember his response. So once I explained, you know, everything, because he was very curious. And so, you know, I explained it as best as I could. And he said, you know, you're like a bowl of fake fruit. And then he proceeded to tell me how when he goes to IKEA, they have those bowls on the table and there's fake fruit in them. And he'll see an apple and he really wants to eat the apple. And so he'll walk up to the table, grab the apple, try to take a bite of it and realize that it's fake fruit and not a real fruit. He says that's kind of like what you are, because apparently I only exist, you know, to please other people. I'm only here for the consumption of others. And if I cannot be consumed, then I must be fake. So, well, that was interesting. I believe that is what he was getting at. He was implying that I look nice, but, you know, I'm kind of not like a real human, you know, just a bowl of fake fruit. And okay, so the next one, it wasn't really what he said. It was kind of the tone that he said it in. He was very confused. And so he's like, so what does that mean? That you like both? Like, frustrating. Very frustrating. And I'm like, no, it means I like neither. But like I said, it wasn't really what he said. It was more the tone. Like the tone was very like, so what is that? Like, you like both? Like, you know, like that, like very like, ugh, type of tone. So yeah, it was more the tone and not so much what he said. Cause yeah, that was a thing that was also at work. It's very interesting that a lot of these happen at work. Oh, you know what? On my uniform thing that I have to wear, it does have a rainbow on it. And then I also have smaller pins of my flags of the ace and the arrow flag. And so it is possible that that's why all these questions are happening. But most of the time it's because they're trying to date me and I turn them down and they're trying to want to figure out why. So yeah, that was definitely somebody that was trying to catch date. And I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And he was like, so, and then I explained and he was like, so what does that mean, that you like both? You know, like what? So yeah, there was that. And the final of the worst category, this one's a lot. There's a lot to unpack in this one statement. It was just so many levels of horror in this one statement. So Once again, I'm at work. He was looking at the flags on my thing and he was just like, oh, interesting, what's this? And we got into a whole conversation. And he was once again also someone that was trying to catch a date. And I'm like, yes, sir, that's not gonna happen. And so his response was, so how do I join? Do I have to like paint my nails or wear a skirt or something? The levels of ignorance that happened in that one statement are astounding. Like, I couldn't even formulate a response. I was just like, what? I was so confused. And I'm assuming because I also had rainbow on my apron, he's just like, oh, okay, so you're part of this community. So then cool. How do I join in order to get a date with you? Do I need to paint my nails or wear a skirt? Just like, what, sir? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's probably one of the worst responses. I mean, besides the bowl of fake fruit, I mean, I didn't enjoy getting Bible verses spit at me either, but yeah, that was just like, it's just like the levels of stupidity that happened in that one statement were astounding. It was interesting. It was a thing. And most of the time I can't say exactly what I want because I'm at work. I mean, I push the boundaries a little bit and I say a lot, but yeah, good thing I was at work because I really wanted to like yoke him up. So there's that. So yeah, that rounds out the worst list. Let's move on to the best list. So on the best list, like I said, these are not in any type of order. They're just a list. So I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I know me and my sister were talking about Pride and Pride Month and blah, 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 blah. And then I'd said something about being ace. And then she said something along the lines of, oh, I didn't know you were ace. And then that was it. That was literally the entirety of it. So yeah, that I feel like goes onto the best because it's just like, oh, cool. Now I know. Thank you. Moving on. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember the exact conversation, but yeah, it was something like that. Something where it was like, cool, no big deal. Nice. Thank you. Have a good day. Which I feel like is an inappropriate response. Another one, this is also at work. This was a coworker, and I believe she was around for when the conversation happened with one of these idiots. And so she started asking questions, and I mean, one of the idiots from like the worst list. So she started asking questions, and I explained it to her, and she was like, oh, I don't care about stuff like that, which is not like the greatest response, but I understand what she was trying to say. I got the gist of it. What she means is she doesn't really care what people's sexualities are. So, doesn't matter. So I got the gist of it. I understood what she was trying to say. So the third one is this also at work. Apparently I don't do anything but work. So this was also at work. And I think I was saying something about like single adoption or something like that. This was years ago. And I was talking to a coworker and then she was like, oh, why would you have to do this? And blah, blah, blah. We got into the topic and then I told her about being ace. And then she was like, wow, that's so, actually, I think she asked me, she like inferred based on the information that I was giving her. She was like, oh, are you ace? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, wow, that's so cool. I've never met an ace person before. That's cool. So, that was a nice response. That was also an acceptable response. I accept that. I thought that was a nice response of like, wow, I know what this is, but I never met someone. So cool. Now I know someone, or never knew. I didn't know. Am I explaining this right? She means she's never known whether someone she's been around is ace or not. That's what I was trying to say. And number 4 for the best reactions would be someone who I believe was also trying to catch a date. He definitely was trying to catch a date because he asked me out. And then it was like a whole long drawn out thing because I'm usually not just like, yeah, because I'm ace, because I don't need people stealing Bible verses at me. So it takes a while for me to get to that point. So he just like kept it going. And I finally was like, no, this is why, blah, 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 blah. Here's this, here's that. And he was like, that's really interesting. I'm going to look that up. Do you know that the next time I saw him, he had looked it up. He thought it was really interesting. And he was like, there was a quiz. There was a test to see if you were ace or on the ace spectrum. He was like, and I took the test because I wanted to know. He's like, yeah, it turns out no. But I just thought it was a really nice response that he found out something that he had never heard of before, went home, did his research, even took a test to see if he was on the spectrum, came back to me, let me know that he now knew and was like, you're a really cool person. And that was the end of the interaction. But I thought that was a really nice response to like, you know what, I'm going to go find out more about this. And I'll come back to you once I figure out more about it and we'll talk about it then. So that I thought was a really nice response. And that kind of rounds out all of the responses I have for now. So yeah, hopefully I can do more content like this because, your girl's been slacking. But also, I have been in a space where I am trying to just like let my body relax and just do its thing. You know, I'm not trying to push myself to do anything. So whatever happens, happens with this channel. Hopefully I can continue doing things like this because, you know, I would like to be a part of this community and let people, I am a part of this community. I would like to be a visible part because I am older, late, very, very late 20s. And so it's a lot of times you don't see like older ARO aces talking about their experiences and whatnot. And a lot of people think it's just a phase and this will go away when you get older and you'll eventually find the right person. Like, hi, I'm old and I'm still ARO ace. So there's that. Okay, that's all. Back